Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're looking at divisive and controversial double acts that are popular with some and reviled by others.
That's your fault. I didn't want to get drunk, did I? You dragged me to your level, you see.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Ant and Dec.
I thought I was part of an Ant and Dec wind-up.
Do you love them or hate them? They are never off our screens and have won countless awards as the nation's most popular duo, but at the same time, there are thousands of people up and down the UK who can't stand them. In fact, it seems like perhaps the television industry is trying to trick us all into thinking they are more popular than they are. In 2005, at the British Comedy Awards, Saturday Night Takeaway won the People's Choice Award for the nation's favourite comedy, when actually, the Catherine Tate Show had topped the poll, leading to a serious Ofcom investigation. Why have they such ruthless control over ITV is anyone's guess at this point.
So when you open the door, say, "Hi, I'm Cheryl, congratulations on making it to judges' houses."
Hi, I'm Cheryl. Congratulations on making it to judges' houses.
Number 9. James Corden and Matt Horn.
I don't know. All I'm saying is there's some graffiti on a toilet brush in the men's cubicle at the Rose and Crown, which I reckon is aimed at me.
What's it say?
Smithy was here.
They're a great pair with undeniable chemistry as Smithy and Gavin, but less so when they're playing characters who haven't been co-written by Ruth Jones. Following Gavin and Stacey's success, Corden and Horn took their friendship to the next level by starring in their own sketch show. Incidentally, the show was largely written by other people, but their additional projects together have similarly bombed. Lesbian Vampire Killers is one of the worst British films of all time, and Horn and Corden one of the worst sketch shows.
And we asked him to take part in this programme.
Right.
And he chose not to.
I didn't know that.
Allegedly, the pair eventually fell out, with Corden jetting off across the pond to annoy the Americans instead. People love them in Gavin and Stacey, but not anywhere else, particularly Corden.
How many Nurofen would I need to finish me off?
You? You'd need hundreds.
I can't afford that, can I? Not if I'm going to have an holiday this year.
Number 8. Amanda Holden and Jamie Theakston.
You were supposed to ring me back.
Was I?
Yes, you were. You rang me and you said you had something important to tell me.
If you listen to Heart Radio on a morning, you'll be very familiar with how annoying these two can be. Amanda Holden is already a bit of an acquired taste where entertainment is concerned, while Theakston is a more reliable broadcaster, despite a few controversies in the past. But we're not talking about the radio, we're talking about their critically panned, short-lived sitcom Mad About Alice. They play a divorced couple, Alice and Doug, who try and co-parent their son Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Joe?
Hi. Alright, you've caught me. My hand in the biscuit jar. I'm a secret snacker.
It's just an unoriginal premise, with bland jokes and worse characters, with weak episode plots like whether men like sport too much. It's a wonder anybody hired them to present the radio together after this.
Oh my God, the plane's gonna crash!
Oh, don't worry, it pulls up at the last minute.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, Julia Roberts turns out to be terminally ill.
Now, don't tell me the ending.
Number 7. Dick and Dom.
15 tons of mushy peas and muck. Norris, cackalack and poopy woo.
People who grew up watching Dick and Dom absolutely love them to this day, but there was a huge moral panic around them in the early 2000s. Though Dick and Dom and a Bungalow dominated weekends for an entire generation of British children, adults at the time thought that CBBC had gone too far, with too many jokes about bogies, poo, and more.
They really loved us in the House of Commons. We had a weekly spot on Points of View.
The game Bogies became a cultural sensation, with public places up and down the country invaded by children copying Dick and Dom by shouting out bogies in quiet places, like libraries and museums.
Bogies.
It's a 0.3. Beautifully played.
Some MPs were so horrified by the programme that they brought it up in Parliament, saying that the BBC was broadcasting filth to children.
We danced in our pants and we kissed old bogies. We've been to museums and we shouted bogies.
Number 6. Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson. Now don't get angry with us just yet, because we're specifically talking about the duo in their poorly received feature film Guest House Paradiso.
And if I may say so, that is a smashing blouse.
Bottom, before it was, admittedly, an acquired taste, had a lot of people not meshing with Mail and Edmondson's cynical sitcom. Guest House Paradiso was too miserable for many of their biggest fans too. The entire film culminates in an extended projectile vomiting sequence and the death of their main villain.
What about dinner? Oh my God! Should be expecting top rate, fancy, French style A1 nosh! I don't believe it!
Bottom just doesn't really work outside its claustrophobic flat share, or with a plot about something other than trying to trick women into bed, despite the best efforts of Mail and Edmondson. At least we'll always have the young ones.
Why do these things happen to me? I thought this was going to be it for us, Eddie. I was even going to have a little blue plaque made saying, Gina Carbonara stayed here.
Number 5. Eamon Holmes and Ruth Langford. Moving away from comedy, daytime shows rely on their lovable presenting duos to keep the bored housewives and unemployed people tuning in day after day. For decades, Eamon and Ruth were one such pair, serving as the relief presenters on This Morning for years. They presented all sorts of other shows too, usually about marriage, for a variety of channels, but in the 2020s, things deteriorated. It seems that, unsurprisingly, mixing work and your personal life is a bad idea, because after they were dropped by This Morning for apparently not being relatable enough, their marriage collapsed. In 2024, it was announced that they were getting divorced.
Just before we move on, I'd just like to thank people for your support for Ruth and I over the last few days as to the news of our separation.
Number 4. Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby. Once they could do no wrong, fronting This Morning 4 days a week along with Dancing on Ice in the winter. But soon enough, the veneer started to come off Philip and Holly, long before they both left This Morning, after Schofield's unwise behaviour and Willoughby's stalking nightmare. Audiences had turned, citing the dystopian Spin to Win Energy Bills prize and, of course, Q-Gate. Photos appeared to show the pair skipping the queue to see the Queen lying in state, which didn't look good considering other stars, including David Beckham and Susanna Reid, waited along with everybody else. They didn't actually skip the queue, but mud sticks, and the following year, they both departed This Morning for good. Number 3. Amanda Holden and Lee Francis.
Yes, if Pat says yes, can we have a party?
No, because Mummy's in charge. These two lovely ladies are going to look after you both while I'm away for a few days, and there's going to be no parties.
No.
Here she is again. In 2021, she teamed up with Lee Francis to make The Holden Girls, Mandy and Myrtle, an absolutely atrocious mockumentary. Francis plays Myrtle, Amanda's fictional grandmother, as the two repeatedly bicker. Though they've been friends for years in real life, there's no chemistry between them here, in a show that's just about Myrtle being extremely annoying and irresponsible with Holden's children.
Have we been burgled? Jesus Christ.
Featuring hilarious jokes about not being able to tell the members of Take That apart and getting drunk on a mobility scooter, it's easy to see why this was cancelled after one series. Hopefully, they never make a sitcom together again.
Has it been doctored to look like that?
This is Facebook. Your account, Nanny.
Number 2. Newman and Bedil. They were extraordinarily popular in the 1990s, but despite being the first comedy act to sell out Wembley Arena, a lot of people weren't keen on Newman and Bedil, including Newman and Bedil.
I do not look stupid. We do not look stupid.
Throughout their brief but exhilarating career, people got the vibe that maybe they didn't like each other. And what do you know? That was completely true. During their iconic live show, they actually barely appeared on stage together, often swapping so that only one was present at the time. And that Wembley gig was their last one ever.
Anyone seen Spitting Image recently? Crap, isn't it?
David Bedil's gone on to become even more obnoxious, releasing dreadful sitcoms like Bedil's Syndrome, about how he needs to be diagnosed with a special mental illness just for him.
Even acquired a serving machine that fires 7 ping-pong balls at a time in my direction. I first met her in Bangkok.
Number 1, David Walliams and Matt Lucas.
Oh, thank you. I'm so looking forward to it. I haven't seen my daughter in 4 years.
Even at the peak of Little Britain, there were plenty of people in the country who absolutely hated Walliams and Lucas for their brand of comedy. In short, making a living punching down at those worse off than them is a surefire way to make people angry. Not to mention that most of the jokes are just lazy.
You want to fly to Toronto on the 14th?
Yes.
Computer says no.
Little Britain ruffled feathers for its reliance on toilet humour and stereotypes, and in recent years has come under flack over and over as people grow up.
Did you pack the cases yourself?
Yes, we did. Unfortunately, we didn't receive any help from the Seven Dwarfs.
But even at the time, it was pointed out how offensive the characters were. Walliams and Lucas have both publicly apologised, and despite mending their relationship, have yet to make a new sketch show.
We both love Disney, don't we, Jeff?
It's all right.
We've actually bought a personal DVD player with us so we can watch the Aristocats on the fly.
Let us know in the comments which hated double acts we missed.
Bogies!
That was a brave bogey. It's a 4.2.